So there's a lot of lies and misinformation out there about trading and investing and just what the stock market is and things like this. You have a lot of these people that their minds have been absolutely rotted by politics and by weird ideologies. A lot of people have bought into some of the anti-capitalism ideologies, communism, socialism, those kinds of things, that these people, they bought into this ideology, so they have to be against capitalism, and they have to be against the stock market. They have to be against things like trading and investing. They have to be against people trading stocks and options and futures, because they bought into that. They have to be against it. But okay, look, I have no problems with whatever political ideology, religious ideology, whatever it is you've bought into. You do you, I'll do me. But here's the thing. You can't lie to yourself about certain things. These people that have these weird anti-capitalist ideas, that I get these comments all the time in my comment section about how trading is unethical, it's immoral, trading serves no purpose, it does nothing for society, trading creates no value. That's one that they love to spread. Trading creates no value. It's a valueless system. You guys are just passing money around, but you're not really creating anything. And anybody that thinks about this longer than 30 seconds realizes that statement is utterly full of shit. Anyone with at least a middle school level education knows how the stock market works, as far as a basic understanding that you have these publicly traded companies and these products, these equity products that you can buy shares of. I can go buy shares in a company. Why is it called a share? It's because it's my share of that company. It's my piece of it. It's my part of it. I own part of that publicly traded company when I own shares of that company. And guess what? That's value. That's creating value too. It's creating value for that company. Me buying shares and putting money into that company, especially in IPOs. That's the initial public offering. So that's when a company first decides to go public. They have what is known as a IPO, an initial public offering. And anybody that buys shares during that IPO period is actually giving that money directly to the company, right? So they're investing, that company's getting money to do whatever it is they need to do, product development, whatever. And that's value. How the hell is that not creating value? Again, this is so ridiculous that I have to sit here and explain this to somebody like they're a 5-year-old, but apparently I do, because I've gotten this thing so many times from at least a dozen people about how trading and investing creates no value. And of course, some of these anti-capitalists will come back to me and say, yeah, that's during the IPO, but after the IPO, everybody's trading shares on these exchanges, through your brokerage. These shares are being bought and sold between you and me, but it's not really going to the company. That money never makes its way to the company. And yeah, they have a point, but they're trying to basically say that trading shares is in no way beneficial to the company after the IPO. And that's absolutely not right, because guess what? When I buy shares of a company, again, I own part of the company. And guess what? The people that own the most shares actually run the company. They technically own the company. They run the company. The people with the biggest share percentage typically have voting rights. They're typically on the board of directors of that public company. So the board of directors, they own shares of the company. It's a big deal to them. They own that damn company. The board of directors are the ones that also vote for things like the CEO, who's actually going to run this company for us. They choose who the CEO is. Also, when they hire people like a CEO or a CFO or CTO or whatever, all the people that actually run the company, when they make those hiring decisions, those people often are rewarded in shares of the company as well. So the share price of the company absolutely matters, right? A company wants its share price always to go up. They never want it to go down. And then, when you explain to these morons that can't figure out how trading stocks or investing in stocks is creating value, once you explain that to them, then they're like, okay, well, maybe there is some value in stocks, but not in options. You people, you degenerates out there buying and selling your options, you're not creating any value at all. And you're wrong. We serve a real purpose. What are options traders? We are the insurance industry. Everybody that wants to buy and sell shares of stock, those of us buying and selling options, we're kind of like insurance dealers for people wanting to invest in stocks. Let me give you an example. Say you own 100 shares of ABC stock, and you're worried that ABC stock, its share price, may see a sharp decline over the next 6 months or whatever. And you decide, you know what? I'm going to go buy a put. I'm going to go buy a put option. This is known as a protective put, because the reason you're buying this put is to protect your 100 long shares of stock, because when you buy that put, if the stock falls below that put strike price, then that's the lowest amount that you will ever have to sell your 100 shares at, right? So it's basically, that's why it's called a protective put. You can't lose more than the strike price that you're buying that put at. And, is that value? Yes, because again, whoever sold that person that put, because if he's buying a put, somebody had to sell it to him. That person that sold the put to him, he's the insurance dealer. He's like, yeah, you want to insure your 100 shares of stock? I'll sell you that put. And the person on the other end, he's getting value too, because if he sold you that put, then he wants the long shares that you currently have at that price. So you're trying to protect your long shares by buying the put. Should the share price fall, he's selling you the put, because if the share price does fall, he's okay taking your 100 shares at that lower price. It's a win-win situation for both parties. In fact, both parties see that trade as a win. There is no winner or loser in that scenario. There is nobody getting screwed over. Nobody's really getting hosed in this trade. A lot of people, they think trading is some kind of game where somebody has to get totally screwed over in the end. And that's not really the case at all. Again, a lot of this is people just protecting their investments for the most part, maybe the shares in their 401k or their IRA. A lot of people have shares as part of their 401k. That's another thing. These people that say trading and investing creates no value. Most people that are able to retire, the reason they can retire and have any money at all is because they invested in a 401k. So these anti-capitalists that see, no value in that. How is there no value in that? Do you want these people to retire and end up broke and dying penniless, alone in a nursing home, not being able to, buy food, not buy clothes? It is insane, the logic that these people are using. So yes, trading and investing, stocks, options, futures, whatever it is you're playing, does it create value? Absolutely. Do these idiotic posts on my YouTube videos about how trading doesn't create any value? Is there any real value in those kinds of comments? Absolutely not. These are people, again, their brains have been rotted by some weird political ideology. And again, I don't care what your politics are, but you have to be honest with yourself. When you're sitting here spouting obvious nonsense, I do 100% believe that the people that are making these comments, they know that that's bullshit what they're writing. And I will never understand people like you. But you know what? I typically let it go on my comment section. I'm not one of those people that ban people from my comment section, because a lot of times, you'll see this with other content creators. People will post stupid stuff and they'll just start mass banning people. I won't do that. I want the idiots to expose themselves. So I let the comments go. But, I did want to address it on camera, because in the weird circumstance where somebody is actually honestly asking this question, does trading actually create any value? They've got this video now and I can refer them to it. Peace, guys.